Good day, everyone. This is Victor Johnson, Career Facilitator with Goodwill Columbus. Back again with another presentation to help you in your career or career advancement. Today we're talking about workplace etiquette, common problems in the workplace, part one. Okay, it's not going to be a long video, but some good information for you here. And speaking of good information, you can use this link below to schedule an individualized session with a Goodwill Columbus career counselor. And our career counselors can help you with your resume, with doing effective job searches, with writing cover letters, putting together reference lists, also things like interviewing skills, and also with finding training and finding the career that's right for you. And we're ready and we're here to help you. So please use that link. If you're watching this later, please just go ahead and stop the video right now and copy down that link and then go to it and set up an appointment today. Well, as I said, we're talking about workplace etiquette today, problems in the workplace, part one. So workplace etiquette, we've defined it before, but basically workplace etiquette is a form of communication. The question is, what are you communicating? Workplace etiquette, the communication is, etiquette, the communication is, I know how to act in a certain situation. That's what you're telling people through etiquette. So, common problems in the workplace. Why is learning workplace etiquette important? Well, proper workplace etiquette can help you avoid and minimize the effects of these things: discrimination, harassment, person-to-person conflict, communication problems, gossip, bullying, low motivation and job satisfaction, performance issues, and poor job fit. Well, in part one, we're going to talk about the first ones here, the first six, because they are closely related. And then in part two, we'll talk about the rest of them. Discrimination. So to fight discrimination in the workplace, all you have to do is seek to understand. Ask questions. That's how you learn how to understand people. And if you ask a question, then listen to the answer. Listening is such a vital, important, tremendously critical skill that people need to develop. Being able to listen without judgment, without preconceived notions, without putting your own feelings into play, and without thinking about something else, focusing on that person and listening to them. You don't allow discrimination by inaction, meaning if you see something, say something. Discrimination is not right in any situation. So if you see it, say something about it to your supervisor or your manager. Or if you're the supervisor or the manager, you need to do something about it and talk about it. And you need to have sessions, as a workplace to talk about these issues. Because one of the other things is that you need to learn about unconscious bias. And what is that, unconscious bias? Well, it's ways that you feel about things that are basically the sum of your experiences, or the way you were brought up, or the neighborhood that you lived in. And there are just things that you take for granted, like this thing, emojis. Why is the hand white? Why isn't it brown? Why isn't it light brown? There are things that, we look at and we take them for granted. One of the places I worked at, they asked us to make emojis for this one type of communication we were doing. But the emojis they gave us, none of the noses matched my nose. There was a really big exaggeration for, if you changed your skin tone to brown, you were limited in the kind of nose that you could put on your face. There's discrimination right there, because not everybody looks the same. Not everyone is the same. So there's something that you can do. to avoid unconscious bias. And that's just try to be aware of the things that you're doing yourself. Harassment. Fight harassment. Don't allow it by inaction. Once again, if you see something, say something. Report it using the proper channels. Your supervisor, the supervisor's supervisor, the manager, the director, all the way up to the top if you have to. If the supervisor is the one harassing you, then you need to take it over that supervisor's head. You can still have a conversation with that supervisor, your supervisor, but the thing is, you need to keep going until you get a resolution to the issue. And educating others, and that's things like, outings, during meetings, you talk about these kind of issues, that you have meetings specifically about these kind of issues. That's how you educate others. And you also do things, in the office when you see things, or in the workplace, in the factory, in the shop, whatever it is. If you see it, you say something, and you say something to other people. Like, I don't think it's proper to tell those kind of jokes in the workplace because it might offend somebody. And people say, well, okay, that's, everything's so politically correct now. No, I don't know where the term politically correct came from, but I would disagree with it. Manners, good manners, is not politically correct. If someone doesn't want to be called by a certain name and you don't call them that name, that's good manners. It's not being politically correct. It's being considerate of another person. So, interpersonal conflict and communication problems. How can you overcome these things? Once again, understand what conflict is. Conflict does not have to be a big, knockdown, drag out fight. Conflict is a disagreement, between two views. You can have conflict in your own head. Am I going to wear a red tie or am I going to wear a blue tie? Am I going to wear a striped tie or a polka dot tie? That's conflict. If you're going out to lunch and one person wants to get pizza, or you're having lunch brought in, excuse me, one person wants to get pizza, the other one wants hamburgers. Guess what? You've got a conflict, but you can resolve conflict. And these are some of the ways you can do it. One, if things are getting heated, breathe. When you take deep breaths, you are getting more oxygen to your brain, calming yourself down, and allowing yourself to think in a rational way. Breathing relaxes you, okay? So when you breathe, you get away from that fight or flight response, and you get to being rational. Let's talk about this. And ask questions. Find out why the person feels the way they do, or why they want the things that they do. And once again, if you ask questions, listen. Put yourself aside. Peck said that, a therapist named Peck. Put yourself aside. It's a putting aside of oneself to listen to someone else. You are putting away, your biases. And then using iMessage. What's an iMessage? An iMessage is a way of communicating a disagreement or a conflict without blaming or shaming the other person. When you blame or shame someone, then the response is probably going to be an emotional response, and it's not going to help the situation. But an iMessage talks about the way you feel in the situation and allows that person to see the situation from your side, okay? An iMessage would be, if someone was, taking my lunch out of the refrigerator and I found out who it was, I could say, I feel really disrespected when you take my lunch out of the freezer or the refrigerator, and I just feel like you have no respect for me. That's an iMessage. Not using an iMessage is, I know you took my lunch. Why are you doing that? It's got to evoke an emotional response. Okay? So use an I message. Talk about how you feel in the situation. Gossip and bullying. And once again, I think gossip and bullying go hand in hand, usually hand in hand. Don't allow it by inaction. Don't participate in it. You know, if you hear someone gossiping about someone else, just tell, I'm not going to get in on this. And you shouldn't be talking about somebody. If you got something against somebody, you need to be talking to them. If they did something wrong, you need to talk to them. Don't talk to me about it. Don't talk behind the person's back. You know, stand up for yourself. Be respectful. If bullying is gossip and bullying or something that are going on, report it, using the proper channels once again. Report it. Don't stand for it. Stand against it. And then treating all coworkers with respect and courtesy. That's a sure way to stop gossip and bullying. All the things I've mentioned so far can be boiled down to this one concept. That's empathy. A great workplace is one where people practice empathy. And, I've talked about empathy in customer service. What is empathy? Feeling or understanding what someone else is feeling. How does that person feel? And just think about it. If you wouldn't want someone gossiping about you, would you? You wouldn't want somebody to bully you, would you? You wouldn't want somebody to discriminate against you. You wouldn't want people to treat you in a bad way. So treat people the way you want to be treated and look at it from their view. How much it might hurt for someone to find out that there's a bunch of gossip going around them, or how much it hurts someone when someone bullies them. Just using some empathy can really make your workplace a great one. And when your workplace, people in your workplace, and people say, well, I'm not here to make friends. I'm not asking you to make friends. I'm asking you to treat people the way you want to be treated. That's all I'm saying. Use some empathy. Practice empathy. Be kind. Think about how the other person feels. Well, and that's it. That's what I wanted to share about problems in the workplace. So once again, I want to bring this across the screen if I can find it. Okay. Once again, I just want to say that Goodwill Columbus is here for you. If you want to schedule an individualized session with one of our career counselors, please follow that link. Go to our Facebook page. We're also on YouTube. Just get in contact with us and we can help you. We will find ways to help you. We will find ways to help you help yourself. So remember, Goodwill Columbus is here for you, and we are all in this together. Thank you very much for watching today, and I'll see you soon.